The current men at the bottom of society can be summed up in one sentence: exhausted and painfully dumb. Because once a man complains, we will say that he is not manly. Be strong. Don't leave the front line even if you are slightly injured, and swallow your anger. There are also some people who, under the heavy pressure of life, are so desperate that they can't get excited about anything, and have no ideas, desires, or motivation. Some people choose to lie down at home and do nothing. After lying down for a month or two, they find that they are even more unwilling to do things. The more they rest, the more tired they are, and the more tired they are, the less they want to do things, and then it becomes a vicious cycle. They are already pitiful, and they are also ruthlessly instigated by some feminist fighters. Men and women correspond to each other, and you make them consume more mental energy. I have lived in this mental state for many years. What are the disadvantages of this state? First of all, I don't want to do anything. If I don't want to do something, I will be poor. Being poor means that many things I want cannot be obtained, and my desires are unsatisfied. Then I like to live with a victim's mindset. Then your attention orientation will be problematic. To put it bluntly, you will be mentally controlled by others. In fact, this kind of control does not distinguish between men and women. For example, if you are a low-income woman and you are not living a happy life, I am a self-media person, so I will help you to criticize that your parents are all rubbish, and that if you give birth to a daughter, you will have to eat 3 meals a day: your parents, your husband, and your child. Your life is not going well because you gave birth to a child. After giving birth to a child, you have no chance of promotion at work, and then you lose your rights, and then you become a yellow-faced woman. Your status in the family is the lowest. You are unhappy because men are rubbish, stupid, and mediocre creatures. They are strong, overbearing, and domestically violent. They value sons over daughters, and male genes are meant to be sacrificed. Men are irresponsible and think about changing wives at the age of 40. After reading this, you feel refreshed. Wow, staring at this information every day, it feels so good. When you live in this world with a victim mentality, you will hate many things. Hatred will lead to confrontation. Confrontation will lead to many conflicts. Conflicts will lead to a lot of mental exhaustion, and you will have no time to do valuable things. You hate men's thoughts and work with others. You quarrel with others every day, and then you feel very tired. Then when you use the violent theories you get from those negative energy videos to solve the difficulties in reality, you will get worse and worse. Many people regard strong resentment as full of spiritual energy, and some people think that strong resentment is the so-called male awakening or female awakening. If you observe carefully, the most aggressive people on the internet are keyboard warriors, who are not living a satisfactory life in reality. Even those people I mentioned earlier who have no energy to do things every day and lie in bed and browse their phones, once they see some negative news, they will show a state of high spirits. That is, their mental energy seems to be very full, and they will argue with others on the internet at length, point fingers at others, teach others how to be a person, and greet others with the most vicious language. Generally, at this time, they will not admit that they have no motivation to do things and are in low spirits. To put it bluntly, they do those serious things that can make money, face difficulties, and have high value, but they have no motivation, and then they point fingers at others, curse others, and they will definitely reason with others. High spirits, full of energy. Why do these people who claim that they lack energy and have no motivation to do things appear to be in a state of full energy in the field of fighting and strength? Most of those who claim that they have no motivation and no energy are not really unmotivated. I have to say something unpleasant. These people are basically slaves to their emotions. They just want to do things that suit their emotional pleasure, or do things that constantly bring them emotional pleasure, and then they are willing to do it. In reality, when we do things that are difficult but valuable, it is often impossible to bring you pleasure in the short term. It is more of a huge consumption and emotional pain, as well as personal mental consumption. Because there is no reward or positive feedback after doing it for a period of time, they are often criticized, doubt themselves, and deny themselves. For example, they worry about their future, whether they can gain a foothold in this society, and whether they can survive. Some people also have pressure from their parents, or they feel guilty that their parents have paid a lot for them, but they have not received the results. There are also some men who are kind people, but they always live in a kind of guilt and self-blame, worrying that they have not taken good care of others and have not taken good responsibilities. As a result, they meet some fairies in society, and men always spend money on them, which is natural. Many low-level men also deal with problems in an extreme way. In order not to hurt fairies, they hurt themselves first, do not talk about partners, and do not get married because they are afraid of the huge mental and material pressures. But in fact, it is a very simple truth. No matter whether you are a man or a woman, you can only know what kind of person you are suitable for after you get along with many scumbags. In fact, it is absolutely true that you can't see the rainbow without experiencing scumbags. Generally, normal people have to experience many scumbags in relationships between men and women before they can grow up. Some people will say, you can talk about spiritual energy, why do you talk about so many irrelevant things? I want to say, what is the core of your lack of spiritual energy? Your attention orientation ability is extremely poor, and your attention is always influenced, controlled, and attracted by your emotions. Let me put it simply and straightforwardly. I almost never watch entertainment gossip when I watch videos on the internet. I consciously train my attention orientation to watch those valuable and high-value information. In reality, I often go to the supermarket to buy things without ever looking at the receipt. Those people who are mentally exhausted, live in internal consumption and poverty. What is their attention orientation in the long run? All those are those who vent their emotions, help them scold, help them blame society, blame family, blame others, blame school, blame men, blame women. If you don't pay attention to your attention orientation every day, you will stay in this dilemma you complain about for the rest of your life. Then you look at those uploaders who are promoting female awakening. They are good at selling books and courses. Their attention is directed to fabricating stories that can arouse your emotions, gain your trust, let you vent your painful emotions, make you feel good, make you comfortable, make you buy courses, and make you admire them. Some stupid people are still fighting for his carefully designed copywriting, saying that they are also calling me to awaken and helping me. Are they really helping you? A person who really wants to help you will not do anything trivial, just incite a violent theory. It hurts, so cut off your hand. When you consciously train your attention, it is actually easier for you to see clearly on the internet. The motivation behind the speech of this information, the second thing you need to do is to focus your attention on small goals that can help you grow, and give each small goal a self-commitment, a closed loop. It's that simple. Don't always direct your attention to negative information and negative thoughts every day. For example, if you focus on how heavy and tired the child is when holding a child, you don't want to hold the child. If you focus on losing weight and exercising, the body will become heavier, and you will be happy when holding the child. At this time, if you focus on memorizing words, then even if I memorize these words and pass the CT4 and CT6, I am not a cow or a horse, but a slightly more advanced cow or a horse. I am destined to be poor in this life. It's useless for me to work hard. I worked hard for 80 years before I can drink coffee. There are many bad things in this world, and it's an uncomfortable situation, but you remember one sentence: the most powerful thing in this world that can change your destiny is the high-quality 1+1. For those consumptions that can bring you value, you should always direct your help to those positive, active, and upward Don't things. Always stare at the abyss, those pains, and those things. We can calmly accept objective suffering, objective emotional pain, and objective misfortune. We face it, even if the way to solve the problem is not so elegant. For example, if we meet a difficult person, we may need to have a fight. At this time, your attention may be directed to having a fight with him, which may be the most valuable. But you can't always focus on those things that complain, negative energy, things that have no good results after doing them, and things that will make people scold you. To put it bluntly, you have been feeding these things, and in the end you say you are mentally exhausted. Don't you deserve it? Well, today's sharing ends here. Welcome to Like and Follow.